Hello, in this video we're going to work on JavaScript data structures, algorithms, and data structures, the second mini course in the first block, Review JavaScript Fundamentals by Building a Gradebook app. So let's see. A teacher has finished grading their students' tests and needs your help to calculate the average score for the class. Complete the getAverage function, which takes in an array of test scores and returns the average score. The average is calculated by adding up all the scores and dividing by the total number of scores. A couple of function calls have been provided for you so that you can test out your code. You can use a loop to iterate over the scores array and add up all the scores. You can use the length property to get the total number of scores. Alright, sounds pretty straightforward. Say let total and equals 0, and then for let I equals 0, the index, while I is less than scores.length. I guess we could also do the for of. For const, we can use const in this case. For score of scores total plus equals score, and then return score over total over scores score. Here are the scores and their corresponding letter grades. Remember that you learned about conditional statements, if, else if, and else. Remember that you learned about comparison operators. So if I were doing this, I would probably make an object, or essentially a dictionary, to look up these grades, maybe, but we're going to be using if, else if. So the score comes in as a certain number. So say if score is less than, let's say it says 0 to 59, so we'll say less than 60, then return f. And really, if I were doing this, I would probably short circuit this and go backwards, and I would just write a bunch of if statements and return, because that's going to short circuit, meaning end the execution, but they want us to do else if, so we'll do that. Else if, so we've already eliminated anything less than 60. Else if score, let's just copy all of this actually. Else if score is less than, now if it's less than 70, because we've already graded the F's, now we're going to grade the D's. If it's less than 70, it's a D. Else if it's less than an 80, it's a C. Else if it's less than a 90, it's going to be a B. Else if it's less than a, let's see, if it's less than a 100, it's going to be an A. And else, in all other conditions, it's going to be an A++, which would just be the case where it is either 100 exactly or greater than 100, which we don't think is a possible input. Nice. The teacher's really happy with the program you've created so far, but now they want to have an easy way to check if the student has a passing grade. A passing grade is not an F. Complete the function has passing grade that takes a student's score as a parameter. Your function should return true if the student has a passing grade and false if they don't. So I think I could use my getGrade function as well if it comes back as anything other than an F. So I want to say return not, or I guess yeah, so return, we want to know whether the question is get grade for score, which will bring back the letter grade. Is the answer to that question not equal to F? So anything that's not equal to an F, this expression will evaluate to true and will return true. Quick add. Now that the teacher has all the information they need, they want to be able to message the student with the results. Complete the student message function with total scores and student score. The function should return a string that tells the student something like this. Class average, here, your grade, you passed the course. If the students failed the course, it should follow this format, you failed the course. Okay, replace average goes here with the average of the total scores. Yep, makes sense. So we want something like this. If I were doing this, I would probably use a template string, but they're going to want you to do it most likely the way that you've learned so far. So the template string way, I would use these backticks, and then I would put in here your class average would be whatever it is. So I'm going to say const avg for average equals get average of, what is total scores? Total scores, student scores. Total scores, the function return. What is total scores? Maybe I should have read something. Get average of the scores. Why is it taking a student score here? I guess they're just going to pass us that data. We don't have to calculate it ourselves, maybe. So right here would go the $, and then the curly braces, and your class average is student score, maybe? No. Be, what is it? Get average for total scores. That doesn't seem right. And then your grade goes here. Get grade for student score. Why are they passing us a student score? That really doesn't make sense to me. You passed the course or you failed the course. So we'll have to replace this with, you know what, I don't even know what these variables are doing, so I'm gonna see, student message, it's passing in a list of scores and then student score. What is student score though? They want to be able to message the student with the results. Average goes here, your grade goes here, you pass the course. What is student score? I don't know, if we were using these total scores, I would say something like const avg equals get average of the total scores. So that's their average, and then what we've done so far is we get the grade for the score, but I don't know what that student score is, to be honest. Const letter equals get grade for average, and then const pass fail text is I would use something like something you may not have learned, which would be like has passing grade score and I would say question mark. This means what if this is true, give me the first thing, which is passed, otherwise failed. You could also do this by making an if statement, so you could say something like let pass fail text, and then if has passing grade score pass fail text equals passed, and else failed. Make this look nicer. So it's basically the same thing. It's just this is a more clear way if you haven't learned the question mark operator yet. And so now we have all the variables, average, letter, and pass fail text. And I would do this with a format string like this. And so we would say here pass in avg. It's just going to evaluate the value of avg, and then letter, and then pass fail text. Let's see if they like this. No, they don't like it. So your student message should return the correct message based on the student's score and the class average. I'm still confused about what is their score? What's the difference? Do we want their grade for this one score or their grade? Do they want the letter for the student score? Score is not defined. Class average 71, your grade is C, you passed the course. Your grade should be F because they want the grade to be coming from this student score. That's super confusing. I don't think that was clear. Maybe I'm dumb, but that's confusing. So they want the letter grade not to come from this average, but from this student score. Okay, F, you pass the course, and they want the pass fail text also to be based on that student score. What the heck is the point of the total scores thing then? Okay, so I use this I also want to show you how to do it with string concatenation, which they've shown in the course, because this one is a little bit more advanced, but you can see how convenient that was. Just throw those in there. It evaluates the value of average and turns it into a string. This is kind of like the F string in Python with this $ curly brace syntax, but it would be the same concept as saying using double quotes, so or double or single quotes and not backticks, which was what I was using, and then saying plus average, and then plus your grade is your grade, colon, end the quote, new plus, the letter, new plus, open quotes, you space, close quotes, plus, pass-fail text, plus the course, close quotes. So you see that, whoa, that was weird. Yeah, I think that was correct, but that was the basic idea, was you could just replace my more advanced technique with just string concatenation by just doing string concatenation of those hard-coded portions of the string and then those portions that are coming from variables as well. And that's it for that. So quick 15 minutes, 16 minutes, and done with that one. So 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the certification project to go in this first block.